Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Timberborn, Neo Olympus. So something interesting happened. As you can tell, our power plant's not finished. And there's a good reason. The industrial district ran out of wood. And for some reason, the other district does not want to import it. So, yeah, problems. So what we're going to do is, in lieu of the fact that we're still waiting on that, and we have tons of power, I'm going to start working on two other projects in our other district, our downtown district. And I'm going to get started on them because there's plenty of resources. And then I'm going to go work on, after that, if we still have time, I'm going to start working on some of my production issues, which don't really matter at this point since there's no wood in the other district, which I'm also going to try and figure out a way to get more of it imported to the other district. But you know what? Let's get started with what we need to get accomplished today. All right, so we're in cycle 60. Cycle 60, day 6, and there's a bad tide coming in. And so there's two big things I want to get started on today. And one of them is building out the rest of this area for the opposite side. So in between videos, I built a coffee brewery. And as you can see, my beavers have coffee. And boy, they are loving the coffee. I also put in some scratchers. Yeah, so I also put in some scratchers up here. I took away some of our medical beds because they don't need them and put scratchers in. The other thing is, I was also working on my placement for this area up here, the rest of the entertainment. And I have some ideas for it. And we're going to get to that at some point, just not at this exact moment. So, first things first. So I marked off the places that I need to put our struts to build the rest, to start working on the rest of our city on the water, which I know there are some of you out there who has been watching from the beginning and was like, oh, this was such a terrible idea. And it probably was. I'm not even going to lie. But I've had so much fun doing it. And I've had my computer and desk standing all day. So now that I'm sitting down at my computer, it just feels so weird. I know, that's a really, really weird problem to have, I'm sure. I haven't figured out what I'm going to put here, put in that area for where the district center is, because I just haven't figured that out yet. quite frankly and honestly, I just haven't figured it out. But I can go ahead and at least start doing the paths. And so even though I'm not that far into building it, I'm sure I can just let it go and let them start building, because, you know, they're going to build it however, whatever speed they want, but they're going to actually build it from this part right here inwards. So yeah, I just need to get it to look like the other side. And of course that would help if I actually would put houses in the right place.
A few moments later.
Oh, something I didn't think about. I'm going to lose power for a little bit. I don't have any bad water. So that's interesting enough. They actually pumped all the bad water out. So I'm going to lose power for just a little bit while I'm replenishing this giant basin of bad water, because I didn't even think about the fact that it was just spilling straight off the map and not refilling this. Oh gosh. Well, yeah, that was brilliant of me. I swear. So I just did something silly. I sat here and put all of this stuff in and didn't even think about, hey, maybe you should actually get all of the floor in first.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, that was really, really brilliant of me. Okay. I put all that work in, getting all that stuff in, and I didn't even have a floor in. So yeah, that was brilliant. I'm just going to finish the floor first, and then I'll put all the buildings for them to build. Because I don't want to do this again. And come to think of it, when we're talking about them putting a floor in, there's something else I need to do. Might as well have them do it while they can get to everything. I believe it's about there. Man, so I'm looking at this, and this bad water seems to get pumped out pretty quickly. It's only been about 5 days or maybe 8 days since I changed everything back over, so it was dumping back into it had refilled this, and it already feels like it's about time to kill the power again to refill it. I mean, I still have a couple tiles left to go, but it just, man, they pump out of that quick. I guess I do have 7 pumps pumping out of this. But our bad water is at least full. So we are making extract again. I guess now would be a good time to test it, because so the base of the power plant is completely in now. All I'm waiting on is wheels, which is fine. I guess I could test this out to make sure it's working with no leaks. all I'm going to have to do is make sure that... Oh, they can get to both of those. I'll just up the priority. Okay, now it's running that way. So if I close this, right, these ones are spinning. Ah, found a leak. But that is good. I'm finding a leak. Technically, we still have some power going. Let's see. Yeah, some power going. All right. But this is the whole thing of, you know, when you have to find where something is messed up. I mean, it's better to find it now. All right. So it looks like all those wheels are going. All of these wheels are going. And I probably need to open that. So we don't even have all the wheels in yet, but this is working. We are refilling our pond of bad water that we are pumping out of. And we're already at roughly about 38,000 power. We still have quite a few wheels left to put in. But I will say, I 100% believe this was a lot better. Our logs are starting to come back up. So here's the other thing that I said I needed to work on, because I need to see, like, figure this out. So everything I've looked at says the math is that a lumber mill produces one plank every 0.63 hours. And you get 1 gear from one plank for every 3 hours. So I think the math works out. Basically, two lumber mills can keep up with 5 gear workshops. And it should be a 2-to-5 ratio also for treated planks. Okay, I've sat here for a few minutes trying to visualize this in my head, and it's just one of those where I think I'm just going to rip it and go. So basically, that's all going to be torn out. And you might be thinking this seems like a very silly thing to do, and it probably is. I'm not going to lie. But what we need to get done here is I need to change how all of this is set up a little bit. And how we're going to do that is, one, we're going to push all this back, and I'm hoping I didn't just get a beaver stuck. Nope. Nope. Didn't get him stuck. Which that is actually really good because I needed to delete this. And I mean, this power setting might just be temporary anyway. Cool, that's all in. Good, no incidents. Yeah, that's what I get really worried about, is an incident happening. Okay. So then what we're going to need is lumber mills. So during this short time lapse, I wanted to take a moment to apologize because my audio is crazy on this one. I think it was just the distance for my mic, since I have a stand mic on a swivel. But I also want to take the time to thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of the algorithm whether you'll ever see a video of mine again. And since I'm a small content creator, it is greatly appreciated. Anyways, back to your previously scheduled program. Yeah, and I put in the wrong size. I just realized that. Three, 4, 5. Yeah, because I just need 5s. Yeah, something was looking wrong, and it was just the wrong size. So then a set of 5s there. And then here we're going to have gear workshops. Start with 4. Then to get the power up there, we're going to have this one down here, upward shaft, and then that there. And then to get up to it, all we should need and that'll get up there, and then our path up here will be there. Boom, 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 boom. And then of course put in some charging stations up here as well. So we've had a snafu. Not quite an incident. My bot production kept dropping, and it was dropping, and I couldn't figure out why. And then all of a sudden, I came over to this bot's part factory that was supposed to be producing limbs. And it was selected with a beaver and not a bot. And I'm sitting there like, why is it at the highest priority and there's no bots at it? And I'm freeing up bots everywhere trying to figure this out. And it was simply the wrong selection. And to catch up with what's going on, I think I'm going to turn this entire one of these towers into limb production. Nothing but limbs. Because we have 220 heads and 220 chassis. And since I am now producing planks like nobody's business, I need to catch back up and get my bots back up. So we're changing these both to limbs to see if I can get my bot production back up. Because we went from 120 to 74. We're like, I was just like, why does it still dropping? Yeah, simple mistake. Okay, so cycle 61, day 18. And I put in 2 extra assemblers. There's a temporary spot for them. I'm probably going to find a different place for them at some point. But right now, I'm trying to combat the loss of bots due to attrition. So we're up to 77. We were down at 72. And so we're up to 77, which is good, which means we're coming back up. Which means at some point, everything will be fully operational again. But as you can see, I have a lot of paused buildings because of all that. And I have to figure it out. I might need to put in more bot towers, and which means I'm going to need more resources. Yeah, it all feels like shenanigans at this point.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
But over here, they finished this whole nice little the platform. So I am actually going to take the time to put in the city so they can build it at their leisure and convenience.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do that because right now I'm still, even though production's ramping back up, until I get this bot situation under control in my industrial district, a lot of other things are going to be put on pause because I have 527 dirt because I only have 1 excavator running because right now I don't have the extra bots. So might as well work in the city and get this looking like the other side. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And once I've got it all back in, we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I have finished setting up all of this stuff. And of course, I put the wrong stuff in there. Not coffee in the small ones, coffee in the big ones. And then the only thing left that I have to do is put in my breeding pods over here, which they'll get to when they get to. No rush on that. Still have a food situation to make sure I'm good with. But that's still going to take more time, as in I still need my bots to get back up there. But I had it paused while I was doing this, and now they're starting to build it. So they're going to build it in their own time. All right. So it's cycle 62, day 5. I've just been letting things roll and doing some minor things like this. I started working on mud baths. Yep. So they can have fun. Mud baths. Because everyone needs mud baths. And the next big project there, also working on the bad water diversion system over here, slowly but surely. Yeah, it's just going to take time. And now that I think about it, there's a bad tide on the way. So all of this water in here is going to get contaminated again. So hopefully soon I'll be able to get that bad water diversion system in. And yeah. But I still got a long ways to go on that. But I at least got it set in for what's going to be over here, because there's going to be another platform city over here. And I haven't figured out what it's going to actually be besides another platform city. Maybe another district. I haven't figured it out. I worked on getting this to an actual circle or ellipse. I used a website called Plots. It's what I used when I was trying to do circles in Minecraft. Because same principle. You just got blocks set up. And I am not good enough to freehand them. So I used that to try and figure it out. And got the basic setup. And it'll have to be built whenever I get enough dirt to do it. It's just something that's going to take time. It's definitely not going to get finished before the update, which is in a couple days. It is the 6th as I am trying to finish recording this episode. And this may be the last time we see Olympus, at least in this format. I may just actually recreate this entire thing on an updated map if it doesn't actually go over. But even if it does go over, there's some things I'm probably going to go through and change, and I will talk about those changes afterwards. But as this is going to be this last video for update 6 that I have, I figured at least get it to go out with a bang. So what happened here was I realized that my power wasn't going through, and I had to double check my power line. And of course, as I was going and backtracking and checking, I did not run power all the way through from the power plant. So I had to come back in and try and finagle and redo this whole thing so I didn't screw it up. Oh no, it's not going to be good. Okay. Yep. Prioritize this. And okay, that could have been bad. So basically we need them to prioritize this, build this, so that way we should have a completely sealed, no bad water getting in there, because I don't want bad water to get in there and then screw up the things, screw up what we already have in place. And I really need an impermeable floor on top of that one. But I won't be able to put it down until I remove the other ones. So we'll have to wait a few seconds for them to finish this. And once they do, I'll take the top one off to make sure that we are watertight. And yeah. And if you're wondering why I'm going through all of this, it's because, unfortunately, I need a way to get power over there. The best way to get power is just going to be to run it right underneath. After working out all of our power issues, now I want to put more entertainment up here. And with the incredible way of designing this that I didn't factor all of this into, I was having a little bit of issue with figuring out how to actually set up everything to put it up here. But it just required me to get a little bit creative after I understood why things weren't working. And it just came down to one of those where things were just a little bit too low. So the overhangs, I just had to get creative with my overhangs and get them set up in the way that I needed to actually be able to put things on up on top. And then once I figured that out, I can have a wind tunnel easily on one side and then a dance floor on the other. Also realizing that I made all of these one too big, but going back and there's my dance floor. With those two installed, I just need to figure out how to fit my earth repopulator up here because I want it in the center. So just have to get a little creative again. Creativity, that's what the game is about. It will fit. With the functioning mud baths, my well-being is jumped up to 37. So the only thing left to do is to finish figuring out a way to actually get the beavers up to the earth repopulator once it is completed. And I am starting to look at directions on how to get up there, and I'm also having to make sure I have proper pathing laid out to get to the other things. So it's just a lot of work on making sure that I can get from one place to the other, and everything's being built fairly quickly, but still gotta figure out how I'm gonna get to that earth repopulator. And I have an idea. It's gonna be a little bit interesting, but because of the way it's centered on one side, they'll only be able to get to it from one side. With all the staircases up here, this is turning into a winding mess, but it will at least give me direct routes to certain things as they're going around. But I get this crazy idea for a double staircase to go up to the earth repopulator. I just have to make sure that it works properly, but this could be the easiest way to do it. And so we have our wind tunnel. Another type of enjoyment for these beavers. So I am going to end this here, and hopefully I'll get to finish this out at some point. But with the new update actually dropping tomorrow, a few hours from now, I think, we can take a quick look at how this entire area has turned out. Neo Olympus, my city on the water. In all its glory. The industrial district. Nice power generation here. A tree farm that still doesn't seem to be big enough. There was still so much left to do. But the interesting thing is, playing on hard mode, things feel like they take so much longer to do. Because droughts, and maybe it's just because the early game seems like it takes longer to get into a progression of things. And with the extremely long droughts and bad tides, sometimes back to back, it just feels like it can be a little bit difficult. But we've come a long way, and there's still more to do. So we may get a chance to revisit, but everything was being worked on. I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough. I will be back with a new series for sure. A new settlement and season, I guess. soon enough. But thanks for spending the time with me, and I really hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, and hopefully we come back and finish it, because I really want to see what the Earth repopulator is going to look like on top of this once it's done. But like I said, thanks for spending time with me, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.